Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to DreamHack Summer 2011. I'm Day 9 from Day 9 TV.
And I'm Apollo.
And guess what?
You made a boo-boo.
I did indeed. What boo-boo did I make?
You said we were going to cast White-Ra versus Pred. Well, first of all, you thought Pred-Eye wasn't Terran. The second mistake is that you said we're going to cast that game. So what are we actually going to be doing?
We will be casting White-Ra versus Pred-Eye after White-Ra versus Jinro right now. You know, I kind of forgot. The schedules got rearranged because there is a BYOC qualifier at DreamHack where the invite list is not all the players. There are those who can come here, sign up, and march their way through. Players like Sarens and Osha who made their way through. But they finished at 8 o'clock in the morning. So they were given a chance to go sleep.
What?
The schedules were rearranged. That is right. The games in the BYOC area were crazy. Had a huge number of signups.
Wow.
Those players managed to consume copious amounts of energy drinks, and they'll be playing later because they have crashed. So it looks like we will be going into the first game. It's going to be Duckload.White-Ra versus Liquid.Jinro on Terminus RE.
And this is going to be great. We've seen a lot of TVP action today. We saw Mana versus Bomber. I am more excited for this one. White-Ra, amazing guy. Second place in the DreamHack Invitational a few months back. But Jinro, the Swedish hero, here to play against White-Ra. I'm excited for this one.
So it looks like the game is now starting. It's Duckload.White-Ra versus Liquid.Jinro on Terminus. The game is almost started, and here we are. Oh my goodness. In the north position, the man who is everyone's favorite to interview at tournaments because of his enthusiasm in an incomprehensible language. It is White-Ra! And in the south position, the two-time GSL semifinalist, the Swedish superstar, Liquid.Jinro!
And White-Ra recently teaming up with TT Esports. Has left Duckload, but now with TT Esports. And I'm talking about his English. I was watching the interviews he did. And he was down in Taiwan, I think, when he joined TT Esports, and he was giving the speech, and it reminded me of the time that he was in Korea. What was that tournament that all the StarCraft 1 players went to?
Was it the World Esports Festival?
Yeah, I think so. And he did a huge speech in front of all the esports managers, all the CEOs of esports in Korea about how foreigners were so happy to play in Korea. And they couldn't understand English anyway, not alone White-Ra's English.
Well, the best ever is I think that they assigned White-Ra an English to Chinese translator. and he just stood up there and just sort of stared blankly at White-Ra and then said something about a tenth as long as White-Ra did, and the crowd roared.
I know, it's so funny. White-Ra has got no fear, and a lot of people I've met through esports, sometimes they have fear of their English. Oh, I don't really want to speak too much because I can't speak English well. White-Ra doesn't care. It's so funny, man.
And he's a phenomenal player, plays huge amounts of games. He's known for being one of the few players who can do multiple days in a row of 40 games per day. And a lot of people call him the granddaddy toss because of the fact that he's 30, which is old in gaming.
I know. Yet he's still so good. And he's been around forever as well. He has so much tournament experience. How long? I mean, he's been in StarCraft 1 for a very long time,
Since he was a fetus.
So he was a fetus, and now he's playing in StarCraft 2, and the guy is a magnificent joy to watch. And now we do have, I was just going to say, Jinro has gone for this fast expand build, similar to what we saw Bomber do, and is going to, the probe is going to get the information.
And it does manage to spot the command center, so that's going to be a nice leg up for Duckload.White-Ra. Now keep in mind that Jinro is also a longtime figurehead of the StarCraft community, has been a moderator on Team Liquid since the early 2000s, and has made a huge splash in the StarCraft 2 scene. Now taking out that probe, what will White-Ra be doing? Looks like he's gearing up for a fast expand.
Yeah, we are going to chrono boost the Stalker here to get rid of that SCV. Super standard, no second gas, has been gone down unlike the games we saw with Mana, and it looks like it'll be just a simply one gate expo. Doesn't want to fall too far behind with his economy. He can choose to go for some sort of aggression to try and force SCVs to be pulled off, bunkers to be made, but we do see here the probe is going to go ahead and throw down that Nexus. And in Jinro's base we have a gasless 2 extra barracks being added on. And he'll be adding on the double refineries quite soon. So we can begin to get that tech lab, begin to get the stim, add on that factory, and go for that timing push. Or, unlike what we have seen Jinro before, is go for a very fast third base.
Oh no, it looks like Duckload going to be throwing away a free Zealot. A Zealot alone not nearly as strong as a Zealot with this 1 Stalker reinforcement, but oh, no gas yet. 4th barracks going down. Is Jinro doing a crowd favorite strategy? Will he be going for the fast third base?
He added on a 4th barracks, which is, I don't think he, well, unless, I don't know, I don't think he can. We'll have to follow this very closely, and it reminds me of the style in the Clash of the Titans show match when he played against Idra on this very map, how he went for that very fast third base, and Idra having no idea about it. And look how many barracks have been added on. 5 barracks here for Jinro, still gasless.
My gosh, spamming that B button on his keyboard, having that bunker up for a good defense, but I mean, this is going to be a real shock push.
Can't find the BC button, keeps hitting BB.
I know, I would love to hear the dying words of Jinro's keyboards. It would just be like just building barracks like crazy. Twilight Council going down right now for Dr. Duckload, who he might be going for a Dark Templar transition.
Oh, look at Jinro sending all these SCVs as well. And it looks like he's going to try and bust down this fast expansion. And these SCVs do, I mean, the Stalkers do see these Marines pushing out. SCVs trailing behind. Jinro.
Looks like Jinro wants to go for the kill right away. What will Duckload be doing with this ultra-fast Twilight Council? He has a probe moving to the back, and it will... Well, it's not doing anything yet because Duckload.White-Ra is in a micro situation. He is going to have to do massive damage with these Stalkers. We see Jinro still advancing forward with huge numbers of Marines in production.
Wow.
We see Marines coming in by the bucket load, but White-Ra may very well just defend this with only Stalkers.
That is Grandad control at its finest here, taking out all these Marines with ease. Pull back that Stalker. He's going to clean up so easily. More Marines are coming through, but if you look at that now, we have 36 probes versus 29, and look what the look what White-Ra does is throw down that Dark Shrine here to kind of counteract that. He knows that there's no gas and that Jinro's on the back foot, and that's a great way to capitalize on this.
Jinro now having to be in a full-out retreat, has not yet built any extra refineries. Nope, there the refineries are going down. It is natural expansion, but those Stalkers are so fast. Duckload exploiting it by picking off the Marines in retreat. Can he get another one? He does. Only it looks like 4 will arrive back home, and you know, Duckload.White-Ra might continue to apply pressure as there are no Marauders, no stim, no combat shield.
And bunker just completes now. And White-Ra continuing the pressure, and look, ooh, careful, the DT Shrine's about to be made though. There's no aggressive pylon though, so the DTs are going to have to wait a long time. They're going to have to walk all the way down, but I love this pressure by White-Ra, just losing some shields on these Stalkers, and now the Shrine's about to finish. He's actually building a Warp Prism, so he's going to use the Warp Prism to use this more efficiently.
Oh, White-Ra, the king of Warp Prism usage, constantly doing 4-gate Warp Prism on the ladder. Now going to be doing a little elevator play, perhaps. We see Stim just getting started for Jinro. Concussive Shell going down. Orbital commands up and building lots of SCVs. That third could potentially be beneficial. But a very unusual DT play beginning to swing forward. And where is that Warp Prism on the map? It looks like it's heading down to join in the fun.
Well, it looks like these DTs will most likely go into the main base of Jinro. Jinro's engineering base just finished, but no turrets are in the making yet. The Warp Prism is in the middle of the map, allowing units to be warped in there, and in come the DTs. Still no turret. 1 turret just going to be made on the natural, but that is way too late. And now, how much energy does he have? 26 on the natural, 50, but uses 1 scan, but there are 3 DTs. He has not got enough now, and he could lose so many SCVs to this harassment.
And it looks like we do see Dr. Duckload doing some severe damage. Just slicing and dicing his way through the back end, picking off a lot of units, and still continuing to poke at the front. Now going for these supply depots. There's the scan to take it down in the main. What looks like no DT did manage to make its way in, and White-Ra getting a little overbold there.
And then comes the Warp Prism into the main base. Now 3 DTs inside. Is there a turret? No. Jinro was quite confident with the turret on the natural. But uh-oh, didn't expect a Warp Prism to come in. And now a lot of SCVs are most definitely going to go down.
Oh no, Jinro losing SCVs by the bucket load. Oh no, he's target firing the tech lab where the stim is being researched. 40 seconds remain. Can Duckload take it down? It looks like, yes indeed, he gets it.
Oh my god, he's doing so much damage here, getting another tech lab on the barracks here. Also, gonna get the combat shield too. Oh, he's gonna get it. He gets the combat shield too. More DTs coming in, and it doesn't matter about the scans because there's no units to kill them.
And now going back into the main target, firing the missile turret, taking it down, doing some huge damage, and there, Jinro is in a horrific position. Now I'm going to pull back, and good game. Dr. Duckload.
DTs.
Teaching a lesson today. I mean, it's those sorts of all-ins that can really catch your opponent by surprise. Hello, everyone who showed up, and congrats for getting
White-Ra,
into
please
chat channel
adopt
1.
me. Special tactics.
White-Ra, of course, one of the most well-loved players, as he is never without a smile on his face. He definitely will be smiling now after that convincing win against Jinro in Game 1.
And it looked so easy, and the transition from that as well was so smooth. He had a third base up, he'd gone into Immortals and a lot more gateway units. So even if Jinro had defended that, he would have had to play against a still solid, backed up White-Ra.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing that was really impressive to me is how easily White-Ra just shirked off the all-in at the start. I mean, it was a huge number of Marines and SCVs, a really nicely timed push, and White-Ra literally only built Stalkers, didn't even pull probes off, got 3 gateways kind of late, and still was almost done with the DT tech right when the Marines were making their way into the main. So it was a very solid hold by White-Ra.